chicane. It is blast off. Marvin Kirchhofer straight away is on his toes. He jumps ahead of Haase, but was he out of position at the start? He's gone second. He's got ahead of Nicky Tim, but he didn't necessarily look like he was in the right line over the grid. A good move by Hunkadea right round the outside there of the Ferrari, but he goes too wide, runs off the road. Back up the inside comes Maro Engel, so Hunkadea is going to lose out. Look, he's forced wide again. Through goes Maro Engel. He's got Dorian Boccolacci going with him, so Hunkadea hung out to dry here on the outside line. Behind him, you've got McLaren's going side by side as well. It is team leading Kirchhofer. Haase third.
Yeah, and Hunkadea's trying to go round the outside again. You could see a great illustration between him and the yellow man filter car. The outside, the dirty line didn't offer him any grip. He sent it and it did not stick. I think Nicky Tim was the car out of position. He was the car not going over the grid boxes. It made Kirchhofer look guilty, but for me, the Garage 59 McLaren was the innocent party. Nicky Tim's positioning, I think, will get looked at.
Start is under investigation, but that's the norm as the cars then thread their way out of the turn 8, 180-degree hairpin. This is the climb up towards the Imola chicane, turns 11 and 12. And look at Niederhauser up alongside Fella, the Lamborghini trying to go through, but he can't do it. It's team ahead. Kirchhofer in second place, Haase third, and then fourth is Arthur Rougier. In fifth place, Ricardo Fella. Sixth is Niederhauser, and seventh, all over the back of him, is Arthur Leclerc. Engel is eighth.
Yeah, it's all concertinaing up there, but it's been super clean so far. Just trying to keep an eye out for Kelvin van der Linde. I think he's made 6 or 7 places up so far. You can see one of the Emil Frey Ferraris, which just has not been fast for what feels like for the last 2 or 3 rounds. We're so used to them being so quick, and this year have just not got that car where they need to be.
And they've got some good drivers in it as well, the likes of Thierry Vermeulen and Ben Green and Matteo Cairoli, Constant Lapalainen in the other car. So the leaders come through at the end of lap 1, team leading by half a second from Kirchhofer. Then it's Haase, Rougier, Fella, Niederhauser to round out the top 6. It is Rougier leading in gold. It's Montenegro leading in silver. It's Peter Dempsey leading in bronze.
Yeah, I think Pittard just had a big cut of the final chicane. He's a little bit further back at the moment.
Nicky Tim, 10-second time penalty for a jump start. So Nicky Tim, the race leader, being given a 10-second time penalty. There he is, and right now 10 seconds would throw him right the way down to 24th place.
Yeah, he's got 3 laps to serve it. He needs to go as long as he can to try and build that 10-second gap. Interesting what happened there. Let's listen in to the 7, see if we get any insight.
We have 10-second penalty for jump start, 10-second penalty for jump start.
No reply from Nicky Tim, who will not take kindly to that, but it's been very quickly reviewed, and for a jump start, which can also incorporate an out of position start, the penalty comes. So a 10-second time penalty added to that car. They can get rid of that on the pit stop as the cars then now come up through that Imola chicane, and Tim has got to push and push and push and push and push. A safety car in the second stint might bring them back into the mix, but a safety car in the first stint will get everybody much closer, and that's the last thing he needs.
Yeah, I'm just amazed what a bigger mistake it was. The drivers are told you have to go over the grid boxes. They're physical white lines, and that's exactly the same as what we saw at Misano, race 1 with Valentino Rossi, wasn't it? Our pole sitter. All you've got to do is drive in a straight line and go when the lights go out, and we didn't get that from the very experienced Nicky Tim.
So Nicky Tim pays the penalty for that. You can tell he's fired up because he's done the fastest lap of the race already, and he's trying to get away from Marvin Kirchhofer. So it could well be that McLaren is now in the box seat. It'll get had on the pit stops, as you see the Fella, Rougier, and then Niederhauser fight. This is for 4th, 5th and 6th, and we've had a change because Fella has jumped ahead now of that McLaren. So Ricardo Fella up into 4th.
Yeah, Rougier will be concentrating, of course, of the gold lead, but he's holding his own. McLaren seem to be strong, don't they? Here this afternoon, Kirchhofer's going to be our race leader within the next 2 laps once Nicky Tim serves his penalty, which is going to really drop him down, isn't it, with that 10 seconds added in the pit stop.
Yeah, I mean, he can try now to build a gap, but if he gets a safety car in this stint, then he really is going to be in strife as the cars pound up the hill, heading towards Chateau d'Eau. This is the Imola chicane. The road just sort of levels briefly, then you go through the chicane and it rises again the other side. Dustin Blattner are busy battling in bronze with Darren Lung here. They turn their way through. All of that is for 32nd overall, but it is for 3rd within the Bronze Cup right now. 5 minutes down as the bronze battle plunges downhill, heading towards the Complexe du Lycée. This is turn 15, down through the gears, sharp right, and then you've got the chicane at the end of the lap.
Yeah, and Darren Lung seems to have the straight line advantage, which we expect to see in the BMW as he hustles over the curbs hard. Dustin Blattner has been in great form in the last 2 seasons in GT World Challenge, the American, one of the best bronzes out there. At the moment, they will be trying to lift their eyes forward to see if they can see Renat Salikov in the 87 car, because Peter Dempsey has made his escape in that Ziggo Sport Porsche all the way up in 20th overall.
Now, progress also. Kelvin van der Linde up into 29 from 42nd on the grid. So good progress as you see there. Hunkadea getting up the inside of Boccolacci. So the Mercedes AMG alongside the Porsche. There's more bad news for Nicky Thiem in that Marvin Kirchhofer has now done the fastest lap of the race. In other words, the gap's come down between the top 2, and Hunkadea there goes ahead of Boccolacci.
Kirchhofer does the first is sector 1 on the next lap as well, so the McLaren is coming alive, or is the Aston going to sleep? Let's see which way it goes. This is looking back from the number 3 Verstappen car of Hunkadea. He's just got past this Porsche Boccolacci. He now needs to try and get past the Mercedes in front of him of Maral-Engel, and you can see the gap. He's going to have to focus there to try and get that car slightly closer. Remember how quick this was in the opening stint with his teammate Jules Gounon. Gounon seems to be in some serious form, doesn't he?
Yeah, right now, Hunkadea's got a lot of catching to do. This is Darren Lung getting into the back of the Dustin Blattner Ferrari. A little love tap going up to the Adelaide hairpin. Meantime, these are the lead cars over the timing line. Nicky Thiem is ahead of Marvin Kirchhofer. The gap 9/10 of a second on that lap. Nicky Thiem takes the fastest lap of the race back. Dustin Blattner ahead of Darren Lung. They're both coming under attack, though, here from Jeff Mackill's Ferrari, which gets into the BMW. Lung all over the grass. Well, he came out the right side of it, on the right angle, and it's the Ferrari that ultimately goes around in the background, and that's the car of Marco Pulcini.
Yeah, there's another red Ferrari, wasn't it? That was very messy there, and there's some big damage.
Dawson.
Looks like, yeah, it's Dawson's rear, but it's the front of the Porsche. So Malikin's gone in the rear of Dawson, so Dawson has got this Porsche bumper on him. Don't know what race control do about that, because it is loose bodywork, which normally would get the mechanical warning flag, but it's not his.
No, exactly. And he's hoping it's going to fall off, but it's well and truly stuck, isn't it? So Alex Malikin has, a bit like a tin can, used Charles Dawson to wipe the front of the car off, and now Dawson has got this windbreak. He's added to the weight of the car. Malikin, you can see, missing the front splitter. Let's have a look at it here. This is a separate incident. Wow, how about that? Just hooks it onto the back.
I reckon that's the towing eye of the Merc that has ripped off the bumper. This is the other bit with McKeels and Lung. It's messy. I think that's on the Ferrari. Darren was as watching it go, and he was wide open throttle. Then the Kessel Ferrari has to check up. I don't know if he got hit or he just spun himself, but I think they're all going to go down as racing incidents, but the Audi has damage on the front right.
Race leader Nicky Thiem has gone through, and he's now starting to get away a little bit. 1.2 seconds the margin as Ignacio Montenegro and Matthias Zagazzetta battle. Remember, that BMW is leading in silver, but the Ferrari round the outside and up into 14th place. That's a Gold Cup Ferrari passing the Silver Cup leading BMW.
Great move by Zagazzetta. He almost knew the silver class was more important there to the 30 BMW, the white and blue WRT car, but still a great move to send it round the outside. Was really smart, and now he's under attack from his teammate Valentino Rossi. The grid marking's wrong. He's gone for the motorbike lines rather than the car lines, but this is going to get messy.
That's van der Linde into the Ferrari of Ben Green, and the Ferrari ends up more or less in the right direction, but hemorrhaging places. So Kelvin van der Linde goes through then. Still in 24th because he actually lost the place by having to avoid the spinning Ferrari. Let's have a look at super slow-mo of that. The contact's already happened, but around goes the Ferrari. Van der Linde bouncing over the curb. That's going to get looked at.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty. I think 10 seconds or a drive through there for the BMW. Ben Green turned in as he was right to do. I wonder if something else had happened in the lap, because that looked up like, to me, some pent-up frustration, and van der Linde decided he wanted to give something there to the 69 Ferrari.
And Jamie Day is being looked at for an incident involving Robin Knudsen. So that kind of answers maybe how Jamie Day got to the gravel at turn 13. Now, Ricardo Feller is going after Christopher Haase, isn't he, for third place. The top 2 getting away. He's got the long drag up towards the hairpin at turn 5. Yeah,
he's done a really good job there, Feller, manipulating the line, keeping some clean air on the nose of that Porsche, running slightly deeper through turn 3 so he can try to get the slingshot down this back straight, but the Audi so quick in a straight line. This is going to have to be a big lunge. This is our best overtaking spot of the lap, and Haase knows it. He just defends the middle of the road, just trying to back the Porsche up. Potentially now the McLaren of Arthur Rouget, the 111 CSA McLaren, is going to get in this mix too.
more bodywork lying on the outside of the Adelaide hairpin. Looks like a dynamic GT Porsche, a bit of bodywork as Hazard comes through the turn 6-7 sequence, and Fella has a massive bounce over the curb that completely throws him off the road at 7.
Yeah, he tried to turn in early there. Again, maybe just trying to keep some clean air on the front of his car so he doesn't get any understeer from the dirty air from Hazard. But that was a big hit and a big landing. Potentially some damage to the flooring on the Porsche, which we know is very sensitive to it. So you're going to see it turning too early here and smash this huge orange sausage curb on the inside, launches the car, and that secondary hit there. And he'll get a track limit warning as well for cutting the inside of T7.
Meanwhile, this is Fellow's view, and he's getting a bit frustrated staring at the back of the Haase Audi. Christopher may not have the fastest car in the race, but he's defending well, as he's perfectly entitled to do. Down towards turn 15, they come down this hill towards the sharp right, then a very, very short burst of acceleration before the 16-17 chicane, and then over the line. Look how close Rougier is getting ahead of Niederhauser, and then Leclerc. Maro Engel is a rather distant 8th. That Mount Filter Mercedes not really coming alive. Indeed, none of the Mercedes AMGs are really sparkling today. There it is, and he's got damage, look, by the front left corner. Yeah. So Kelvin van der Linde, I think, may have hit somebody, and van der Linde, championship leader, out of the race. The car is parked on the cut through. Let's have a look. Dempsey again.
Dempsey has got the sharpest elbows, doesn't he? Doesn't care who it is, van der Linde or Spinelli. He's going to have it back. I don't think he's going to get a penalty for it, but he was moving back to the racing line under braking, so it's something race control will look at. They'll also look at, is this car in a safe enough place to recover under local yellows?
That's great news for Danny Hunke because, depending on what Jules Gounon can do in the second
Attention
stint,
all teams, there will be full course yellow in 20 seconds.
Niels Vitic, the race director, advising of the full course yellow that is about to come.
Yeah, this has got a good chance of being a short
10 seconds.
So no overtaking from this point, and all cars must be at 80 when he gets to 0.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, full course yellow.
And Nicky Team hoping that it is only a full course yellow, because the safety car now near the pit window bunching everybody up behind him is very bad news. So Nicky Team wants this to be, like last night, a full course yellow back to green, doesn't he?
One, green flag, green flag.
Back racing then here at Magny-Cours. Nicky Team leads Marvin Kirchhofer, and this is the battle for third place. Christopher Haase ahead of Ricardo Fellow as they dive now through turn 1 and 2. Porsche all over the Audi.
Yeah, what's he going to be able to do? Like I said, the Porsche team's strongest out of turn 5, so they've got this long back straight now, a huge snap of oversteer, and we go on board. You can see how hard he's working. That is probably the dirty air I was talking about. We just lose 20-30% of the downforce, and then you've got to work hard. The Audi's just got enough as we've got a spinning Aston into the turn 15.
We have it, it's 35, Maxime Robin, and that is not the place he wants to be, and there are cars scattering every which way to avoid him. So that's going to be a yellow flag as the bronze Ferrari there goes through. That is Dustin Blattner in the car that he shares with Dennis Marshall, and the next wave of cars includes Ben Green, and they're the recovering Darren Lung.
Yeah, so Blattner's now leading the bronze class. He was behind this Mercedes, though. I haven't seen where that happened on track, as the battle's now raging on all the way.
Bit of hip and shoulder there. The two McLarens getting themselves together. Louis Pret all over the Roma Andriolo car as they head now through the turn 6-7 sequence. The Dempsey van der Linde incident is also being looked at. No surprise there. And a big drama for Blattner, who's got front damage and he's away through the gravel. And he may even have joined and hit the parked BMW, but that's up at the Adelaide hairpin, and either there was contact and or a brake failure.
But when we saw that car less than 20 seconds, he had no one near him in front,
no.
So that, I think, your brake
Attention
failure.
all teams, full course yellow in 20 seconds.
So a big scare for Dustin Blattner. We'll get to the bottom of it. Full course yellow is coming again, as you've heard from Niels Vitic, the race director.
10 seconds.
10-second count. Still Haase is ahead of Fellow. Let's go to the full course yellow. It's
3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, full course yellow.
Right, so it's all up at turn 5, and Dustin Blattner cleared the gravel. It looked like there was damage on the front, but I think also he either got very close to, or maybe even connected
with the
to all teams.
Just for info, the pit window has been postponed.
Behind
pit window postponed.
In front.
It would be no surprise if this were a safety car period, because if you've got them in one line, that does give the marshals periods of clear track space to work, doesn't it?
Yeah, we did say that yesterday, didn't we? And we went straight back to green, but yeah, this one.
Red flag.
Race control to all teams. Red flag, red flag. All cars will return to the fast lane and will line up at the pit exit. All cars will return to the fast lane and will line up at the pit exit light.
So the red flag to allow the track to be cleared of the debris.
An exit, and he goes to defend really early, and so now the Mercedes is okay. He's allowed to be there. I think Blattner causes that contact, but then Salikov moves back over to the right, and that just really sends the car off at a huge speed. See the marshal taking cover. Look at the energy there, the money involved there. That's $200,000 worth of damage, I would say, on that Ferrari, but more worrying for Blattner will actually be the championship ramifications. And again, a great illustration of why we move cars behind barriers, because if the 32 had been left in what I said was a relatively safe spot, it would have been hit. And that is why racing drivers shouldn't be in charge of anything.
So we're under yellow flag conditions now. Safety car leads them away. The race back on. The clock carries on ticking from just under 35 minutes of the race. And there the field making its way down the pit lane. So 1 lap behind the safety car. They will cross the line and effectively do 1 full race lap before the pit window is officially open for them. Yeah, Boccolacci not getting away. So that's going to delay the queue behind him. And I think he's got going now, but you can see how much time has been lost against the Danny Huncadea Mercedes. He'll get that back though now behind the safety car.
It's quite a wise move actually, because it gives you a big gap to run into at a bit of a faster pace, so you can generate a bit more tyre temp that way. So maybe a nice little tactic there from the Porsche driver Boccolacci, just to give himself 2 or 3 corners flat out rather than being stuck in this very slow chain of cars.
Green flag at the line.
And we're going to go racing this time then. There's a big whack of curb. Nicky Timmy's on it. The car slightly unsettled. And he comes through the chicane with another launch. And everybody hops and bounces over the curb. Ricardo Fella on his toes. You can't overtake until you've crossed the line either. And now Fella lines up to have a go against the Audi of Hauser. Pulls out, pulls back in again. Couldn't make the move as they go into the Grand Courbe through turns 1 and 2. Nose to tail then here. The Audi just
Race
ahead of the
control
Porsche.
to all teams. Pit window will open at 16:29. 16:29. Pit window will open for 10 minutes. Split pit window.
So from that time, the teams know when their second 5-minute period is open.
Yeah, so the Pro and the Golds can't be in, but for 5 minutes after that. So the teams will be working out how many laps they can do, and it's tight here. It's going to be 3 for the leaders, but maybe only 4 for this car backwards. I think Fella could be the first one to box out of this group in around 6 minutes.
Some more yellow flags, I think, on this restart lap as the cars now go down towards turn 8, turning their way up through that long 180-degree corner. And again, Fella tries to get up the inside. There's sort of a gap, but he couldn't quite commit to it. Pit window now opens, and Fella crawling all over the back of Hauser again. Look, Team and Kirchhoff are getting away as you see the Porsche in the wheel tracks of the Audi. Ricardo Fella closing up as they dive towards that Imola chicane. Turns 11 and 12, but what Fella needs now is to try to dive up the inside, coming through the Chateau d'Eau right-hander. And Christopher Hauser is doing a good job of defending. He knows he's not got the fastest car, but he's not going down without a fight, is he? They're being caught as well by Arthur Rougier, the gold leader, and Niederhauser's there in 6th as the top 2 breaks away.
Again, Hauser is really happy to be helping Nicky Team here, isn't he? This is backing everyone up. This gives Team the best chance after that car serves 10 seconds. That 10 seconds will be at the start of the pit stop. The Com2 team won't be able to touch the car for 10 seconds as we see the first car coming in from the silver classes.
So that's Montenegro in, and also down the pit lane is Arturo Dorisson. Also in is Felix Hausiger. So it's silvers and bronzes, remember, that can be in first. Salikov is in, Lung is in, no surprise there. The bronze-graded drivers coming in, as you see Dorisson giving way to Oliver Söderström, who was on pole in silver yesterday. Dramas for 99. Dylan Pereira's got a puncture. He'd made such good progress from the back of the grid, and yet again for the Tresor Tepto team, 1 step forward and 2 back. There's a big concertina effect going on for 3rd, isn't there, behind Hauser, because Fella is stuck and he's being caught again by Rougier, Niederhauser, Leclerc, Engel, Huncadea, and Jordan Peppers up to 10th at the expense of Boccolacci. Yeah,
it's all kicking off in the back here as well. The silver class car. Interesting, they didn't box. That Bartone camo car could have come in. It's fighting with the gold class car as we see the 222 car here. Remember, minimum pit stop time for the bronze cars. They need to be in pit lane for 53 seconds. That will roughly lose them 14 seconds to the unlimited fast class of everyone else but bronze. seconds. Hesse actually pace looks okay on the last lap, and now the concertina is really behind the 111 CSA McLaren of Arthur Rouget.
Valentino Rossi being looked at for leaving the track and gaining an advantage up at turn 12. So Valentino Rossi's rather tough day continues. He's now being investigated as there. Christopher Haas is doing an exceptional job of hanging on to that third place as the cars climb out of turn 3. Then the Estoril long right-hander, and then this long drag up towards the Adelaide hairpin at turn 5. By the time you get there, you've done effectively 2 kilometres of this 4.4 click circuit.
Yeah, and this is going to be a busy lap for pit lane. Everyone, I think, will dive to pit lane at the end. The only one potential is Nicky Team to stay out, to keep trying to extend that. But I think the problem is the cars that do box will get the undercut, so actually it will hurt him. Better to box now. Talking about the undercut, Leesman has just done the fastest lap of the race. That was the car I was saying to keep an eye out in 14th last time by, a second faster than our race leader. That is going to be an advantage for the silver cars.
There is their number 3, that car which was started, of course, by Danny Hunkadea. Jules Gounon has now taken it over, and now Nicky Tim makes the run into the pit lane. Felicia Gelmini goes through, got a yellow flag there up at the Adelaide hairpin. There's a Ferrari facing the wrong way, which I know doesn't narrow it down, but it's trying to get itself back into the queue. Carl Bennett at the wheel of 71, that was 21st overall. That is 7, ready to go. Kobe Powell's at the wheel, and this is the car we need to be monitoring now. Bastien Bous at the wheel. Is this going to lead at the end of the lap?
Easily, I think they've just had such a slick pit stop that our Spa winning car did their pit stop 10 seconds faster than Garage 59. This is the 10 seconds extra for the 007, so their pit stop's going to be about the same as Garage 59 as we look at our new race leader, and actually the McLaren has jumped as well.
And look what's going to be either second or very close to second. It's the Montenegro Lisbon BMW, which has had a mega win on the stops as the car goes through. So Simon Riker has taken over from Haase. There it is. Arthur Rouget is given away to James Kell. And another car I think that's gained ground on the stops has been the Amaury Cordeel Jordan Pepper BMW. So we'll have the full order at the end of the lap. Fastest lap of the race now is to Bastien Bous, as there you see Alessio Picariello's Porsche running a little bit wide. Lucas Auer is on his toes in that man filter Mercedes AMG. But right now it is Bous ahead of Mathis Lismont. Thomas Neubauer is third and Luca Enschler fourth. So after Patrick Niederhauser's good first stint, they've made even more progress now.
Lambo on for a podium. Never thought I'd be saying that after the form they've started the year, but shows you how good Rutronic are, always so quick in the pits. So this is our race leader, comfortable race leader at the moment. Next car is the 30 BMW leading the silver class.
And in bronze, Marvin Dienst, a 20-second stop go for causing a collision. So Marvin Dienst, 22nd on the road, leads bronze, but a 20-second stop go penalty is coming. That's the second place car leading silver, Mathis Lismont. Then it's Neubauer ahead of Enschler. Simon Riker is 5th. There's 6th, James Kell. He's leading gold at the moment. 7th is Dean McDonald. We thought that could be a winning car, but they've thrown it away, it seems, for whatever reason on the pit stop. Then you've got Tommaso Mosca's Ferrari ahead of Cordeel, and Picariello rounding out the top 10. And look, Jules Gounon down in 14th. A bad pit stop for 2Cs.
Yeah, James Kell has done well. He's up to 6th. He's got Dean McDonald as the other Garage 59 car. Fleming tries to get down the inside of Gounon. That's going to be a great run as they go to 6-7.
Tom Fleming, no respect of reputation, getting into the side of Jules Gounon again and again and again.
Seen a lot of that this weekend. Drivers having a bit of a rub and then losing their heads and turning across each other. They all need to grow up a bit. These are expensive and fast cars. Rubbing's fine, but that was way too aggressive for me on Fleming, moving across the front of that Merc.
And in the end, I don't think it's necessarily done him any good, has it? As you see, James Kell still leading in gold, but that Ferrari is the danger. Look, Tommaso Mosca is second in gold and trying to make progress. Goes Gounon, gains a place, 13th overall from Söderström. And it's busy behind, look, as you've got Tom Fleming in the mix as well. He did give that place back to Gounon, but he's on the attack again.
Yeah, Gounon closes the door, but the door was then pushed a bit by Fleming. Has to back out of it. It's actually going to be Hesse here on the attack into turn 8. I think this could be a move done. Fleming just closes the door in time. I think Fleming had a chance there of getting overtaken, but Hesse slightly hesitant to send it down the inside.
Max Hesse then, who was very good at the next part of the circuit, the Imola chicane yesterday. Not close enough to attack here, but Fleming in the Gold Cup Garage 59 McLaren fending off the Pro Cup BMW. Hesse 16th, lock up there by Fleming. Hesse to the outside into Chateau d'Eau, gets the switch back, gets alongside, and that's going to give him track position all the way down the hill.
Yeah, it'll be an easy move for Hesse now. Just need to find his braking points just after the 100-metre board here. Need to lose 150k, and Fleming backed out of that one really early. He didn't want to get hang out to dry on the outside, so broke early to be able to tuck in. Fleming hasn't had the easiest start to the stint. He would want to be in front of the number 3 Verstappen car, the blue Merc there, as we've got a slow car of Gemini there in the 11 Prawns class car. BMW, aren't they, in front? Of course, the BMW's done 3 more laps on its tyres, so it gained at the start massively, but now it is slightly later as Neubauer runs wide. This is going to be a real good chance for the Lambo.
Up the inside, tries to go Enschler. Neubauer tries to get back across the road and cover him off. Enschler's not quite level. He's got his nose up the inside, but now he has got the power. He's being crowded onto the grass. Neubauer has to give him racing room eventually, and Luca Enschler late on the brakes into the Adelaide hairpin. He's going to go third.
What a move. It was all from Neubauer running deep in T3. What I loved about that was Enschler was getting crowded at the second apex of 3 and just kept his foot in. There was a slight bit of contact, but for me that was Neubauer moving across the front of him. We see so many times drivers backing out of it. Enschler, I felt like he knew that was his only opportunity. We saw a fiery youngster here last year, didn't we? Yeah. In the Huracan against Benji Goethe. He didn't succeed that time. He did today to get a podium. This is going to be a mega result potentially for the Rutronic Lamborghini.
Very enthusiastic Darren Lung, who's sunk so much into his motor racing and indeed the careers of others, and there's an effort being made and more contact there because that was Picariello desperately trying to get past Tommaso Mosca. It didn't work. That could have ended really ugly.
Again, I go back to this point, why is everyone squeezing each other in a straight line? Picariello had the overlap there. Mosca should be getting a penalty for me. He squeezed him to the side, that's fine, but you can't keep squeezing. Picariello had the overlap, and it was actually Mosca trying to get past Fleming, wasn't it? I think has backed everyone up, or McDonald, sorry. And so Picariello has the corner. Mosca knows that he's going to lose the place if he leaves it like this, because the inside goes to Picariello. He runs him up to the line. Picariello is very fair. I would have kept my foot in and sent that Ferrari hard into the wall. That should be a penalty for the 51 Ferrari.
Let's see what comes of it then, as Alessio Picariello gets his heart rate down and regroups. There is Tommaso Mosca, desperate not to lose time against James Kell for the Gold Cup lead. Number 50 Ferrari, the car of Thomas Neubauer, hasn't got any either from him nor Arthur Leclerc's stint behind the wheel. Kell under pressure, wide goes McDonald. Mosca is right there as well, so Dean McDonald in the middle of this trying to attack and defend. Mosca looks for the tighter run out of Chateau d'Eau. Has he got the line coming off the corner? Yes. Is he alongside the McLaren? No. So Dean McDonald just able to keep the Ferrari at bay as they drop down towards turn 15, but Kell can't shake them off.
One of these 4 cars is not going to finish this race, as I nearly got proved quite right on that statement. Kell is backing everyone up. He's right to do that, but he's causing a huge fight behind, and actually is going to give Gounon a chance to be somewhere near as we go under 3 minutes remaining. Enschler has really caught Leesmont as well for the battle, second overall.
Yeah, half a second between them. So it is Bus, Leesmont, Enschler the top 3, Neubauer 4th, Simon Riker doing a good job hanging on to 5th, helped potentially by Kell, as you say, stacking up McDonald, Mosca, and then Picariello behind, with Jules Gounon in 10th place, yesterday's dominant winner with Danny Huncadea. This is the run out of turn 4. It is indeed, so that could well be reversed on the corrected time. You're on board with Eddie Cheever for Ziggo Sport Tempesta, the Herbert run Porsche. But for Lion Speed GP, they won the CrowdStrike 24 Hours of Spa. They won one of the 2 sprint races at Brands Hatch. There's going to be a second win of the year, and this will be good news in the championship. They were 3rd coming into this race. They're going to gain points over Danny Huncadea and particularly over the leaders Van der Linde and Witz. So Bastien Bus and Ricardo Feller in the interrupted second race at Magny-Cours come now down towards turn 15. Checkered flag is at the ready, and so the Porsche from the second row of the grid is going to win at Magny-Cours. Ricardo Feller and Bastien Bus win race 2 here in the sunshine. Second, and another silver win to Mathis Leesmont and Ignacio Montenegro. The silver winners are second. This is the gold winning car, Arthur Rougier and James Kell. They're going to be 6th as they come through the chicane, and Augusto Farfus and Darren Lung are going to win bronze. And you saw Jules Gounon coming into shot way up on 2 wheels in the Mercedes from 2Cs Verstappen Racing that won yesterday. There is Farfus He has got Eddie Cheever behind him, but Cheever's got a penalty anyway. Farfus has staved him off, and as long as Dewis is within 10 seconds, he's going to take second for 2Cs within bronze. There's the flag, there's the winning bronze car. Farfus brings it home.
Yeah, great performance from Paradine there. They've been knocking on the door all year, but that's been a seriously quick car. Farfus pumping in some laps as we go to our overall winners. Lion Speed GP, the Dutch team, are in a good run of form. Spa winners, like we've said, and that's been a good race from Feller in shot and Boos in the car.
And this is how we look in terms of the provisional race result. Bastian Buss and Ricardo Feller, the winners, from Mathis Lismont and Ignacio Montenegro, the Silver Cup victors. Luca Engschler and Patrick Niederhauser's best yet for third, ahead of Thomas Neubauer and Arthur Leclerc. Simon Riker did a good job of hanging on to fifth after Christopher Hauser's good efforts in qualifying and stint one, with James Kell and Arthur Rougier winning winning gold, I should say, in sixth. Seventh, Dean McDonald and Marvin Kirchhofer from Jules Gounon and Danny Hunkadea. Max Hesse ninth with Valentino Rossi, Tommaso Mosca and Matthias Zagazzetta rounding out the top 10. Winning bronze, as we've been saying, to Darren Lung, Augusto Farfus there, BMW a little bit further down the order, but of course those bronze cars having by regulation to make the longer, slower pit stops. But in the end, 23rd, Augusto Farfus and Darren Lung,